Hey, bookish baddies. Welcome to Black Girls Lit.
Where fine women, fine literature, and fine libations collide.
Step into the lit life. Black Girls Lit starts now.
Black women are so complex.
Hey guys, welcome to Black Girls Lit Podcast. We are here again. My name is Nicole. To my right is...
I'm Lex.
I'm Star.
And I'm Natasha.
What's up, y'all? So, what we got going today, Lex?
So, today we are talking about the book The Other Side of the Pillow by Zane. Today's pairings will be, what is this, whiskey.
And we're brown, y'all. We're brown.
To get through this one. But our BGL cocktail of the week is a Gold Rush. It is our Elijah Craig with a little bit of honey syrup, some lemon juice, and aromatic bitters. So, cheers.
Cheers, ladies.
Ting, ting, ting.
Good luck, Gold Rushes.
Oh, that's a man.
That's liquor.
That's
That's liquor.
That's a cup.
That's lit. It's pretty.
Puts the lit in Black Girls Lit.
Did that
Right.
put
It's
we
pretty.
definitely
All right.
we came to get litty today.
Nicole
Okay.
trying to kill us. She
That
was
part.
bartender
I
today.
did bartend and did that
You
one.
need to mix it up.
You know it.
See, now y'all
We
wishing,
go
I
brown.
bet y'all wishing y'all had them straws I talked about now, huh?
She been trying to get some straws. Ain't nobody want no straws.
Told them we need some straws.
So to speak about Zane, Zane has been around for a minute. Zane is an author that is with Black erotica, pretty much meaning that she has a lot of African American characters. Well, not a lot of them, like she has other characters. She has nothing but African American characters in her books. And of course, it's going to have something steamy, while also just having your basic book talking about relationships and women. She's a New York Times bestseller. She's also had her book Addicted featured as a movie screenplay. Tyler Perry did it not too long ago. And then also the Sex Chronicles are some other ones that she's known of. Yeah, just know if you ever read a Zane, it's going to be a little steamy.
But I'm thinking about she was my first ooh, am I supposed to be reading this?
Was
I
it your
was young.
first one?
I was young.
Absolutely. Yes.
My first
agreed.
one, I think it was like Eric Jerome Dickey or them people like that.
Round about the same time, but those Sex Chronicles was definitely
were
the
going.
first for me. I said, oh, ooh.
On to the rating. Tell us about the rating. Tell the people about the rating.
The Other Side of the Pillow, that's the Zane book we chose this week, right? So in this book, we're talking about where we have chemistry. She's sort of a woman scorned, not really in love with love, but then Tevin come in saying all the right things. And so she got to decide whether she's going to take the leap, trust her heart or not. I will say, now y'all know our rating scale.
No,
we
we
giving
don't know
it,
it. Tell
we
it.
cheers. Cheers if we love it.
Okay.
Sip if it's okay, it's good. Like I said, about 3 stars. Babysit if it's just okay. And then send it back if we just gonna send it back. So I will start off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming with, I'm gonna say cheers. I liked it. Cheers. I was here for it.
You know what? I'm going to give it, I don't know if there can be something in between babysit and cheers. But that's what I'm going to give it. Only because I needed a little bit more like character development. It seemed like the typical book in general of how it was progressing. So I wanted a little bit more like meat to it. But overall, I mean, was it a good read? Was there a moment that I text Star and was like, girl, have you read this part yet? So, oh dang, I think I'm going to have to give it a cheers. That sounded like a cheers, didn't it?
It
was better than a sip. Did it sound like a sip?
I don't know.
A sip and cheers. I don't know.
Step up, y'all. Okay. But no, same though. I think I would give it between a sip and a babysit.
Oh my gosh.
This was my first Zane book. I've never read Zane before. But I do love me a good erotica novel. So I enjoyed it. I do think it was a little dated. But we'll get into that later into the podcast. So that's the only thing that I was like, all right. But as a millennial Gen Z, I'm like right in the middle. Yeah, I catch on to that quick. So that's only why. But it was cute. It was cute.
Yeah. I'm going to sip this one. I do love Zane. I love Zane. I'm giving it a sip because I don't necessarily love the Black woman scorn narrative. I do think that there's a way to get to, yes, we have, we go through challenges in relationships and, what the healing process of that looks like. But the bitter, angry Black woman, like we don't, it doesn't always end that way. You know what I mean? Like you can progress through the challenges of relationships without it being that. So that's why I'm sipping this one. But, for all intent and purposes, I get why she had to be, for the story, but
it's a tired
Been
story.
there, done
It's
that.
a tired
Like,
story.
yeah.
I'm
Like, we've been used to this story.
always cheering. I'm like, oh, I just love it. I think that when I go into it, I'm judging it for what I already know what it's gonna be. So I just be judging books based on what I'm like. Okay, this is Zane, but I'm not. So I'm not necessarily looking for character development or anything like that. I'm just like
deeper.
You know why I picked up the book, Zane? Girl, you delivered. Okay, we good. Like,
You did what needed to be done.
I wouldn't even say she went super hot though. It went like super deep. Like
No, there was
some other. She's done hotter ones.
There were some things, and she's always gonna get. If you can get beyond right the core of what erotica is, right? It is what it is. But if you can get beyond that, there's always some underlying story. There's something there that you can take from. So I think that was something I shared with you, like when we were choosing the book, like. Okay, so listen, it's gonna be sex, and then it's gonna be some more sex, and a little bit more sex,
and then it's gonna be a story.
Yeah, like if you can get beyond and some people are uncomfortable with that, right? So if you can get beyond whatever your comfort level is with that, there's definitely something there. There's always some meat there. So.
Well, as we transition to our first part to start talking about this book, we're going to introduce you all to Glen Fetish. I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly, but it's going to be paired with some green apples. This is what we're calling the Sunday matinee.
The Sunday matinee.
Wet our whistle. Start off here at the top, little whiskey, little apple slice,
That's gonna be interesting. Be like, I never had apples on my whiskey before.
Ever.
The little
Gonna be in the little plate.
Yes, it is. So when you're sipping on this one, you're gonna want to be sitting here thinking about a little crisp jazz beat. So some, little high class restaurants you go to.
So first, how Jimmy Chow, she started off at the little poetry spot where she'd be in the little poetry slam.
Trying to do the little Love Jones part. So our pairing, of course, like I said, the green apples with the Glen Fetish. Let's taste it, y'all. Let's see what's going on here. That's a man.
Ooh, that's brown liquor.
Mm-hmm. But it's good.
Okay, the apple helps.
It is good.
So the apple takes out the.
It does cool it down.
It tones it down.
It tones it all the way down. It says, okay.
So if you got your brown and you just go ahead and just eat your little apple.
So let's speaking about toning down. That was the beginning of Geometry's story here in this book, right? She had this background of being in bad relationships and being treated bad, even though she's giving her all. And now she's coming upon somebody that wasn't playing so many games, which is Tevin. How do y'all feel about, the fresh start that Geometry was experiencing right at the top of the book? Or let's talk about Geometry in the beginning of the book in general, just her thought on men.
It made sense with the history she had of like the physical abuse and all that. It made sense for her to feel that way about men, like to have a negative outlook if that's the only thing you've dealt with. So it definitely made sense. And it also shows like a certain level of, I think, like bravery, just even put yourself out there. I've never been in an abusive relationship, not physically abusive relationship. So I can only imagine that level of trust that that's been broken, and to be able to even put yourself into another relationship, I just feel like that takes like a lot of strength. I don't know.
Think about it. She had a roster at the beginning.
She definitely had a roster. She was like, I'm looking.
Very non-committal.
I don't know if I want to even be close enough to even be having sex with somebody though, if I had been through an abusive relationship. I don't know. But I guess maybe, again, I've just never been in it, so I don't know how.
You got needs, girl.
How I would handle it.
Yeah. She has some needs.
My concern with her at the beginning was when she started to speak on this pattern, right? I think that was probably the most concerning thing for me at the beginning is, you know, if you're talking about one bad relationship or maybe two, but it was the pattern for me that starts to suggest like maybe it's not everybody else, right? Maybe and not
I think she was mentioning that, though.
yeah, and I mean I think that's just in general, right? In life. Like I'm really big on energy right now, right? Like you get what you put out and you know, like we attract certain things. So I think a lot of times people are just like serial relationship people. Like they need to, right? And sometimes you need to take a step back and say, wait a minute, if I keep finding myself in these same types of situations, these same types of relationships with these same types of people, what am I doing, right? Like, and not in the sense of like blaming yourself, right? But what am I not doing or what am I not being clear about as far as my expectations and what I need and what I expect from people that they feel that they can keep giving me this, you know? So that was where I kind of, going back to my rating, like, okay, girl, maybe it's you. Like, maybe you need to, you know what I mean? Like, and not in the sense of like fault, but maybe you need to take a step back and get to know yourself. Like, and be confident in yourself and what is it that you really want and who you really are and what you have to bring to the table so that you can project that. And people, you know what I mean? Like there's just a certain thing, there's a certain energy that you put out where people know like, nah, she don't look like she with the shenanigans. You know what I mean?
Well, so but I think, did she become was she a principal at that time when she was doing all that, or was it once she got out of those relationships, then that's when she was like, hey, went back to school and became a principal? Because that, the vibes that she put up, like you said, with like the whole roster, and she was like the principal, like, and they talk about how great she was at running her school and everything like that. That really does not jive with somebody who's getting beat on to the point where they're getting put to the hospital. So maybe that was like she took her power back point and then she transitioned.
Well, and I think that was where, like, that was the headspace she was in / was projecting she was in, because she did talk about the point of the roster is she wanted to be non-committal and she wanted to take back all the power in her relationship. So being able to hop from guy to guy whenever she wanted to, however she wanted to, and just being able to have that power to be the man in the relationship, if you will, was the stage she was at while she was also in this very powerful job as a principal. So I think what you're saying, yeah, she worked, by the time she was in that headspace, that's where she was. I think it had been a while since but that was like the last serious relationship she had when she was much younger and getting beat on and hadn't been in that headspace of like, get up, girl. And this is her idea of getting up, is the space she believes she's in.
And I think she was numbing herself, really. It was
that
like,
too.
I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to use what I need and then I'm going to stay.
Cut it right there.
Yeah, just cut it right there. That's it. Like, even the way.
Defense mechanism.
Yeah.
A protection mechanism. Yeah.
Which is also like
I think,
slightly toxic, maybe. I don't know. But I'm not trying to be judgmental, like, you know what I mean, with the character. And I guess from my perspective, right? Like, and I know we all go through different stages and we, you know, we're in different places at different times. And maybe to your point of it being dated slightly, it definitely isn't giving Black woman in 2025.
No,
like, it is not, you know what I mean?
And I think the like slightly toxic trait that you're pointing at is that Chemistry projected very much on anybody that even came close to her, that were in the male variety. Like she already came in with the mindset of like, this man ain't shit. I already know he's gonna f me over, so I'm gonna just hop on this real quick and then be on my way. And that was her. And I do think that part of it is extremely toxic. Because now you're generalizing. And how do you find love that way if you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable? Like she was definitely traumatized.
But she said she wasn't looking for love. She just wanted to go for a ride and then go on about her business. Or do we think that was a lie she was telling herself?
That was a front. I think that was a front. I do.
I mean, I guess every human being in the day, you probably want to have somebody that care for you. But
yes.
I think she was done.
Like
it terrified her too much that
She was
done.
traumatized.
Yeah, definitely
Like,
trauma. Yeah, she was definitely traumatized.
Like, I'm not even
But
going to get to that
rightfully
point.
so. I mean, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Ooh.
I mean, speaking
And
of
this is what we're
tripping,
talking about.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What?
It's complex.
Right.
Speaking of tripping into love, I feel like we should trip accidentally into the next drink, unwisingly so.
Okay.
Because however whiskey is filling off the first two, yeah. We're going to get into Elijah Craig.
Special shout out to the Werther's original caramel popcorn. I just want to.
Is it amazing?
Maybe.
It looks like it's good. I don't know why.
It's a whole vibe.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I was like, this about to get stuck in my teeth. I don't like the sticky filler.
Touche.
I was like, I'll take one.
But it's going down.
So
I saw what you did there, Star.
you should be feeling a little Neo Soul in here. I want you to feel Music Soul Child in here. You should feel a little bit of what's the other guy? I don't know. All the things. The taste.
Oh,
Okay, let me tell you.
I mean, y'all were looking like
Elijah was there.
I like this pairing. It's cute.
The popcorn is
really the MVP.
popcorn is the MVP. Please understand.
But I like it with the
So Werther's original caramel
This was
popcorn.
going.
We definitely need
it's a
that.
good pairing.
It's sweet
This
now.
combo was giving.
Now it is sweet. It's caramel popcorn, but it's
Yeah.
not like
It doesn't stick in your teeth too much. I don't
and it's not like OD. You know, like some caramel popcorn be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's really good.
This
Mm-hmm.
is a cute pairing. I like
I
that.
think in the caramel popcorn it brings out more caramel flavor in Elijah.
Yes,
Are y'all tasting that? I can't.
Yeah.
you
Need
gotta
some more pop.
you gotta let the popcorn. Yeah, like you gotta get the popcorn on your whole tongue.
Because this right here. You guys don't know what they talk about.
Nicole, you gotta get
This
the
taste.
you gotta get the
like
caramel on
smoke.
your whole tongue.
Right.
Then
she
take
goes.
the shot.
It's
Here
so
she
many,
goes.
there's so many comments
she
to be
goes.
made.
Oh, really?
There's so many comments to be made. But I'm gonna keep that over
Are you
here until at least the last shot.
I was like, can we just wait a minute?
We talking about refreshing.
we just got
Sorry. Okay.
Back to your question about refreshing. Refreshing love. Refreshing love, girl. That unexpected love that you ain't know just caught you like, oh, I wasn't even looking for you. Okay.
Yes.
Who's had that before?
I'm having it right now.
Oh,
Tea.
See?
okay. Right?
Tea.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but
No, at some point in time.
yeah. It's
Describe it.
it's cool. It's cute. It's fun. It is. It absolutely is. It's very, very unexpected. A very unexpected individual. You know, someone from my past.
Oh.
But it's like, oh, okay. I see a different side of you. And I'm definitely a different me, you know. But yeah, it's fun. Especially when you open yourself up to it. Like, I think if I can be transparent and honest, I'll say that. Initially, I was like, anyway, what I call for or what I need is, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody on that. But after a while, you know, it takes a lot for a man to be honest and vulnerable, right? And put themselves out there. So it got to a point where I was like, well, wait a minute. Let me not, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me not disrespect the vulnerability. And I think once I did that, it kind of allowed the conversations to kind of take their natural course. So it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know what's going to happen or be the outcome. There's no expectation. You know what I mean? It's just fun right now. So
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I feel like that sounds very relatable to freaking Tevin and chemistry.
yeah.
Like, chemistry really couldn't figure out, like, Tevin, like, what's your angle? You about to mess up. You doing too good.
Mm-hmm.
Tevin came in very strong, very like, this is exactly what I want. I want you. I like you. This is what we doing.
Mm-hmm.
What time you doing this? And then she's over here like,
Hold on.
What?
Slow down.
slow down,
break.
slow your roll.
right.
He's like, I ain't got no issues. If you're gonna be singing play, like, he's
Yeah.
shooting straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of something you like, it's refreshing. Same thing for y'all too. I know it's been a minute since that first beautiful love happened. But I need you to flash it back. I need you to flash it all the way back when you like, dang, that's it.
I feel like we all sort of have the same story. Like, hey, we dealt with some assholes. And like, man, dudes ain't shit. They ain't shit. And then all of a sudden somebody pop up and you like, oh, you trying to be different. And I mean, sort of like chemistry, like I pushed back on it for a minute. Cause one, I mean, I was like literally 20 years old when I met Alvin. And part of me was I'd only ever had like ridiculous relationships with a lot of like fighting and just like, gotta have drama. I thought that because all my friends, they had dramatic relationships. That's what I had previously. I thought that drama and arguing and stomping off and all that, I thought that's what a relationship was, So then like when I met Alvin and he was just like, I'm not gonna be arguing with you. Like, I'm not, you about to stop off then. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna see you later. He wasn't gonna chase me. He wasn't finna sit there and argue with me. And I mean, you do end up looking like an idiot when you just arguing with yourself. Because you realize you just, now I'm just up here yelling. Just ain't nobody yelling back. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And, so I fought him for those reasons. Because, again, just because he just was like, I'm not going to be dramatic with you. And I really did at that time. I was young. I thought that that's what a relationship had to have. And then I also fought the fact that it's crazy to be 20 years old and feel like, oh my gosh, this is a person I'm going to marry. Because again, you're like, oh, I'm only 20. I can't already be wiped up. Like, I feel like, what if I meet somebody, And so, you fight against it, but at the same time, you like, it's like he never gave me a reason to break up with him. Even when I was like, I mean, again, I was just
looking.
No, let's fight. I mean, I didn't know any better. I didn't know.
I promise if I knew. You're being ridiculous for nothing.
Just for no reason, just throwing temper tantrums. And again, I mean, I was 20. I had just crossed into sorority. So all of a sudden people give me little looks. And I'm like, oh shoot, let me try to be. But then at the same time, I'm like, he was like, if there was a checklist, I mean, he was just like me and everything. I was just like, okay, girl, you'd be so stupid if you just
trying to be like,
right, if you just walk away because you think, oh, well, you're 20 and you're too young or whatever. Yeah. But here we are. Like I said, I mean, I fought against for a little bit. Then I was like, let me just go with it. Let me just see what happens. Let me just see.
Okay.
And here we are 20-something years later and just looking back on it like, dude, it done really been like, literally, I've been Mrs. Salter longer than I was ever Miss Neal. Like, it was, which is crazy.
That is crazy to
But and I do understand, like, why it would not work out for everyone. Because if I look back at who we were when we first got together, 20 years old, we didn't know anything. But we did sort of have, a couple, like, the main common goals in mind of, hey, what we wanted, family, this and that and stuff, And like I said, I was looking at, my dad treated me very well. Nothing that he treated me very well. And when I tell you that Alvin jumped in and he was like, oh, you right here treating people like, oh, okay. 'Cause my daddy set a very high bar and you was jumping in, meeting them standards. Like, I really had I never had a choice but to say yes. Cause I really would have been like a fool. I would have been a dummy.
And I absolutely love that. Like, I love that for you. And I've told you before, at this stage of my life, you being a part of my life and me being able to see you guys interact, with each other and still see you get to be the woman that you are, right? The woman that you are, the friend that you are, the mother that you are, the wife that you are. And like, there's no conflict or you're not being forced to be one thing or the other, and you have that support from him. Like, that is the only thing that has me really entertaining this new thing / old thing back. Like, it's, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe those men are out there that get it and they understand and they're not,
and
they're not threatened by, the things. And then, you do what needs to be done. So, touche.
The first thing, when it happened, describe it. Because I was new. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember when. I remember.
Yeah. No, so I'm not I've been engaged for a year now, but wedding countdown is on. Less than 6 months out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're coming up on that time. But no, me and Antron, I don't know. We were just very open with each other at the beginning. Like, we both weren't really looking for anything serious. he had told me when he met me, he wanted to be single for at least 3 more years. So like he really was not. And I had just been out of something for a little bit and trying to like recover from that. And so when we came in, we were both like, all right, so I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm dating like 2 other people. And I was like, great, I'm also dating 2 other
So
people.
am I.
So, you know, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Hello?
Like, we just, but we just really like, we didn't put any pressure on it. And we just really went on the fact that if it was meant to be, it'll be. And so all the others went away and we just really started to enjoy each other's company and started to truly be friends. Cause I had never been in a relationship before where I could truly say that was my best friend. Like I was in those relationships that was like, oh, my boyfriend low-key hates me, but I love him though, but I know he hates me. And so with him, it's definitely not that. Like that is my best friend for real.
That's dope.
And so yeah, it's just been easy. Like I'm not nervous about it at all. He's not nervous about it. And we've just given each other time and space to grow. So it's just been very, very natural. Very, very natural. Yeah, I didn't come into it with any scorn or hate. Like I knew what I wanted and what I wasn't going to put up with. And that was people who were not emotionally mature. And Antron is very emotionally mature. He challenged me in a lot of spaces. So from there, it was, it was very, very easy. And that's what I tell people. Love shouldn't be hard.
Right. When you figure it out,
knock down, drag out. Yeah,
like that's not cute. Like it truly should not be hard at all. It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't hurt.
Shouldn't hurt.
It shouldn't be painful.
That doesn't mean y'all don't make mistakes or do things to hurt the other person, but like it's not out of malice. Like you should be able to recover. If y'all are doing too much too soon, you need to reevaluate because it really shouldn't be all that. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't.
Taking notes. All right, guys, moving on. Are y'all okay? We feeling good?
The whiskey is hitting. Y'all got a month. What do you call it?
Zane is meant for brown liquor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know about all these other pairings, but the pairing of Zane and brown liquor,
it goes together real bad.
So now we're gonna get into the juice of it all. Natasha told me at this point, this is when I say there could be spoilers. Possibly. Okay. That don't mean tune out. That just means lean in.
If you haven't read the book, then I mean,
lean in.
Come on, a little closer.
We're going to give you all the juice so you can read it for your own self. We're going to start this with the black lady, Fawn Weaver. That's Uncle Nearest. This is her thing right here. And we're going to pair that with beef salami and Gouda cheese with some crackers. Nice little Lunchables. It's a grown Lunchable.
Yeah, little charcuterie.
I'm a little nervous.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to make the connection between this secret recipe and this secret that this bitch should have kept in the book.
She loose.
It's the brown liquor. Put it on the side. The brown liquor made me do. I thought we were talking secrets. I thought I was amongst friends.
Yes, we are.
This is a safe space.
What you do not know, I guess the viewers may not know, is the fact that what we're talking about, we've been talking about chemistry and Tevin, which is her love interest. She had a best friend she was roommates with, called Winsome. Winsome is a bisexual woman who is also very free in life. More of like, I think common day, we would call her more like polyamorous. Maybe poly a little bit.
She's just living her life.
She likes what she likes.
Yes.
And as long as it's all
she would give it
done,
trisexual.
You said trisexual?
She willing to try anything.
Right.
She's very sexually free.
Yeah. That's...
Meaning there is an instant where there was a roommate walk-in. We ain't gonna tell you too deep, but just know it was more than 3 people involved.
Yeah. She just had no boundaries. She had no boundaries.
That's what it boiled down to.
This is yours.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is happening?
Overpassing.
I didn't even know it got past me. Ooh, that's sweet. All right. Here goes this Uncle Nearest. You ready to taste it?
Give her a try.
Let y'all know this is 100 proof.
Oh. That explains it.
Okay, alone, I'm saying Uncle Nearest is smooth. Like
Oh my gosh, it
I
tastes
could put this on a couple rocks and be good.
It is really, really smooth.
Oh, that's so good.
I put out, I'm saying a couple rocks in there, I'd be good. Now let me taste with this
Uncle Nearest
with
got
this
it down.
Lunchable.
The Lunchable, great. I feel wrong.
That is good.
This actually should be something I should take to work for.
It's
real.
really good together.
This is good. Okay.
So for all you
This
non
definitely giving like
for you
grown
non
folk
whiskey
picnic.
drinkers, absolutely, yeah.
we out here at the park
Picnic in
having
the
like
park.
a little picnic.
Get your little boot, get your little blanket, get your little picnic basket, bottle of whiskey, and a little charcuterie. You in the game.
Chemistry, Winsome. How did you feel about the situation? And describe the situation so the people can know a little bit about it.
That was not her damn friend. Let me tell you, I don't have no
Because
friends.
I want to talk about friendships on both sides. I want to talk about Tevin's friend. I also want to talk about Chemistry's friend.
Winsome was that girl, and I think a lot of girls have them in their friend group that you just don't leave alone with your man.
You do not.
You just don't leave them alone with your man. Winsome was trifling. She very much was, but I also think
herself.
it was a protective mechanism. So to explain without oversharing, Winsome decided to sabotage Chemistry and Tevin's relationship in a very, very sexual, very, very hurtful way to make it seem as if, she knows that Chemistry
has trust
issues and is triggered easily. And so she decided to set Tevin up in a way that was very trifling.
Yeah.
And so, she was just one of those friends that you just,
that was not her friend.
For Chemistry, she was a little like naive, thinking like, she might be a little out there, but it'll never come back. Like none of that's coming back. Yeah, what is it? The chicken comes back home to roost or whatever like that. Right. Like that ain't gonna never come back here.
You know your friend is like that, but you think they're gonna be like that with somebody else.
You would never you're never the person.
And
right?
see, and here's the thing where I go back to not blaming Chemistry, but
you have to
set boundaries. Like, you have to set boundaries. You get to a place in life where you have to set boundaries, and the people that you choose to be around or allow in your circle, right? Like, or certain levels of access, they have to have the appropriate boundaries as well.
Well,
right?
I would get it though. If that's your best friend, like, it's just like y'all, like, never in my brain.
I would be so shocked. I don't have nobody in my inner circle who I would even think about.
But who Winsome was, though. Like, so here's the other thing. People are who they are. We get these pictures in our minds of how we want people to be, right? Because that's what fits our narrative. And that's what would make things pleasing to us. But Winsome, she was who she was. She didn't have what...
She was happy.
She had no boundaries. There was nothing about Winsome throughout the entire story. There was nothing about her that said she had boundaries. She didn't even respect Chemistry, the fact that they lived together. Like, Chemistry spoke about multiple times, where it's like, you don't even respect the fact that this space is shared. Like, you're not in the room, you're not in the bathroom, like you're in the living room. Like, so she did not have boundaries. So for, again, like you want to believe, right? Like, oh nah, this my dog, this my best friend. Yeah. Like, they would never. Yes, they would. If they don't have boundaries, a person that doesn't have boundaries doesn't have boundaries.
Well, the thing is almost like she wanted to, I wouldn't say possess Chemistry, but it was a way like, you, my friend, we in this together.
Absolutely.
You're in a relationship.
It was very misery love company.
Like,
she was miserable. She wanted her to be miserable too.
Even after the situation, she was like, what about us though?
Yeah. If you go live happily ever after, then I have to do this by myself.
I need to now have to face my life.
That was what.
That's crazy.
But here's the thing. For a person that has boundaries, it's crazy. For a person who doesn't have boundaries, what is the most extreme thing that I can do so that I only have to do it once?
Sabotage.
This is my thing, right?
And
if we go back to the end of the book, the fact that she even tried to become friends again was crazy.
That was for the book.
So
that is not real life. I'm sorry. Like
There's
got to be a special
some
set of
people are
wings.
just like that.
There has to be a special set of wings in heaven for chemistry for that. Because absolutely not.
But the fact
I've cut friends off for way less. For just the thought of or the idea that you might, you know what?
Even if you were like, oh, that
I
person,
love you
he
to
looks
death.
sexy. Who looks sexy? My man looks sexy to you?
Not
That's
you.
crazy.
You said it out loud.
That I don't. And that's I'm like I don't know because I really. So when we read it, you know, because I was like, ain't no way, like that's not her friend, you know. And I know we talk about, oh well, you know, you have that friend who you know who
There
they
are
are.
wild friends. There are wild friends.
I don't know if maybe just for me at the point I'm at in life now, because again, I'm just like. I'm old, so I'm like, I don't call everybody my friend. I know y'all say I be out here, and I do. I'm very social, and I be having people.
You're friendly.
I am friendly. The people who I consider like my friends, who I'm like, hey, you work with my house, we breaking bread, this and that. I don't think there's anybody in what I would consider like my inner circle who I would not 100% be like, yeah, you can be at my house. Like, what? Go to my house. Like, hey, I'm gonna let you in, whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't. There's nobody like in that space. Now, do I know some people who may be like somewhere hovering in the outer ring,
vicinity?
But I would never have called them my friend. Like, I don't have anybody who I'm like regularly. Hey, we live like they live together. Like, what?
That's crazy.
Once again, I do think, like I said, chemistry was very like naive in a sense. Like, this is my best friend. She has like that loyalty in her own brain that it translates. Like, she wild.
But that's
She
my
out of
girl.
bounds.
But not me. She'll do that to them, but she's not gonna do that to me.
Right.
She would never come this way.
Yeah.
With that kind of energy, like, because I got her back and she know that.
And you know what? Another thing.
It even proved it.
Mm-hmm. And another thing, people too, like, we expect ourselves from other people.
Yeah.
Like subconsciously,
This is
right?
true.
Like, so subconsciously.
I would never do that. So clearly
there's
they
no
would
way.
never.
Yeah, like there's
do
no
that.
way that person would do it because I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And again, that's something that I, you know, having a young adult, I share with him like early because I just learned that, right? That this is something that I learned recently. Like, you know what? That makes all the sense in the world. Right. And that's where we get disappointed, where we have those expectations of people based on how we would maneuver or how we would handle a situation. And then when people prove to be somebody, to be their own person, right?
Which they
and do
always
their
have
own,
been.
right? And do their own thing. Mm-hmm. And there's the disappointment. And sometimes it hurts. Like sometimes it's hurtful because it's like, dang, I would never do that to you. Right. And then people take it personal, like a personal attack. And it's not necessarily a personal attack on me as an individual. That's just who the hell you are. Like, and
so
I gotta
now
just,
I'm looking at myself like,
I gotta let you be you.
But how did I not see that in you before?
Yeah.
So now I'm mad at me because I'm like,
now why you mad at
why
you
I
though?
didn't know?
Yeah.
Because you didn't know.
But I feel like
show you who they are.
You gotta believe them. Believe them.
Daggone Maya.
Believe them.
I mean,
absolutely.
Until you learn, you learn.
Yeah.
I thought that was that's what got me on chemistry. I didn't feel like she learned.
No, because I wouldn't have took that.
Yes. I think there was some.
At no point you come
maybe
around
it's the point of this, right?
This auntie Winsome. No, not never.
But there is a point, I guess. She kind of treated her more like how we treat family, right? Like, let's say you had a cousin that did that junk. Y'all still family. Unfortunately, we still make a way.
I
we
don't.
like you ain't gonna never.
I don't.
Well,
I feel like we're not anymore. I feel like we used to, but I feel like we are not anymore. I feel like now we're like, you know what?
So you
blood is what it is. What it is. That we are at a point. At least for everybody who I talk to, we're at a place and like where we realize we don't have to just accept anything. Whether it's family, friends, used to be, whatever it's not. Hey, uncle,
right?
What you did was very inappropriate,
Absolutely.
and I'm not gonna be up here breaking bread with you at Thanksgiving like we cool, because it wasn't. And anyone who else is gonna be okay with that, just don't invite me.
Don't invite me.
But would you
Where we
are
used
you now
to.
telling the whole story to the whole family? Like you're like, hey, this is why we're
Well, here's
not
the
cool
thing.
no
Everybody
more, 'cause now you showing up.
knows. Everybody
They
knows. Like people
Stuff
know.
that we used
But they
to
don't
keep
be
Yeah,
saying
people
it.
know
They
that
want
it's
you to
not
say
that
it, though.
anymore.
Look, we going to a
Now
whole
here's the
nother
thing.
level.
Yeah,
Family
and
is
I don't
different.
want to go too.
That's why I
We
was
definitely don't
like-
want to go too deep into it. But I think collectively, as a culture,
we're not accepting stuff.
we're moving a little bit different.
We are
I agree.
changing secrets and the hiding of everything.
Because we used to think it was our secret, but no, I don't have nothing to be ashamed of. You should be ashamed. So I'm right here covering for you.
Which is crazy because it
And
then
that's
just
what we
continues
used
to
to do.
happen. And then all of a sudden you're like,
Right.
Well,
so
what the
no, we're not doing it because again, you done made me feel like it was my shame where I said I'm the one that did something wrong. Like turns out it's not. It was you. And we was all covering for what? Like so I feel like we
now you're
had
doing it to other people.
decided that we just not accepting anything and we're not gonna be cool with a lot of stuff that I feel like we used to be cool with.
Yeah, the conversation's definitely changed. And I think it's really more so with the push towards a lot of open conversations about mental health. And that's a big thing, you know, that we didn't, as a culture and a community, right? We haven't always discussed that or focused on that and what that looks like, what that means. So I think overall, in general, and that's any relationship, you know, romantic relationships, friendships, family relationships, it's about the health, like what's healthy. Like what's healthy, what's positive. And if it's not, guess what? It's okay to let it go. It's okay to let it go.
Without
you know,
bad
love
feelings,
people from
like,
a distance.
it's just-
Like no hard feelings,
it's
no
not helping
nothing.
me.
What you have going on or how you move, how you maneuver, that doesn't work for my mental health. Like it does not put me in a good space.
And I think it's all
So I don't
about
want to.
talking, which is what I feel like I've learned the most from like the younger generation coming up. Because I say, and we can even like just keep it like the simplest level. Even when you talk about, remember when it used to be a thing like, oh no, we don't talk about how much money you make. Like no one discusses pay.
Crazy.
Right? But we realized the reason they didn't want to talk about pay, because turns out we doing the same damn job and he get paid more than me.
Right.
It's all right. So like this next generation coming up like, wait, hold up. Well, why is that a secret?
Right.
And then they come up like everything that we were taught, as I say, you know, we around here, we don't talk about this. They like,
Let me tell
we
you,
talk about everything.
they
And
question everything.
the way communication on all levels in any subject changes things. Because hey, now that we all having these conversations, we all know what we will and won't put up. We're like, what? I was dealing with, girl, it's like, it just opens, like it opens our eyes to so much. Like I said, it don't matter what the subject is we talking about it. We ain't no secrets right here, y'all. We putting everything. Because all our cards is turned up.
I'll tell you right now, my paycheck don't always align with my lifestyle, and I don't think my lifestyle is the problem. I think it's my damn paycheck. So who do I need to talk to? We got the same position. What? Oh, okay. Because okay, cool. I'll talk to the people.
And I'm saying there's just so many things that used to be secrets that I feel like. And that is one thing I really do feel like I've learned from the generation coming up that no, we not keeping nothing secret. I'm like, y'all might be onto something.
So to be the devil's advocate in that, I'm sorry, that's how the story back then. After they actually really effectively communicate, did you think that was open for a good friendship then, Winsome and Geometry? Because we know what happened. It's on the table about what happened. Finally, the second time that
we talked about all the reasons why.
I know. Second time Winsome came, she came with some sense because that first time was stupid. I don't know what that was. Second time, she still ain't admit to her.
Damn it, you're right.
I wanted her to say it. So now that you're talking about communication, if this person is now trying to show a little bit of accountability,
no,
I think that's
because Geometry even communicated with Tevin about the situation.
That's
and about bringing her back.
Now,
you might have a good point.
was now with the whole situation overall. Geometry, from my perspective, she was wrong in how she handled the situation initially because she didn't allow that man to
explain.
She didn't allow that man the conversation. You see what I'm saying? Like, and not only because she knew who her friend was. You see what I'm saying? Like, so. I think she was wrong.
But it was a deep hurt.
She was wrong in that
of your
but she was waiting. The thing with Geometry was
she was waiting
for it. She expected.
She was not shocked.
She expected him.
You just like every other trifling nigga in my life.
She expected that. So she didn't even give him
You're right.
She didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, no, everything that he showed her that he was a good man. She knew her friend was who her friend was. But because she was so damaged, she didn't even, all that went out the window. And he was just like, oh no, you definitely
But
are
do you
part of
not
the
think
problem.
that was not a lack of, like, I think she was aware of that about herself. I don't feel like she never not said that about herself.
She was aware.
Because she even said, like, because he's, you know, whenever they ran into each other,
Yeah.
she admitted to the fact, like, I couldn't, like.
Yeah, but she was aware, but she
conversation.
definitely owed him a conversation.
And again,
Well,
not
how
to
deep
give,
it got,
not to
she
give
definitely-
too. Okay, so
Yeah,
that's what
that
I'm alluding
was-
to, because I don't want to get too
We can't get too
into
deep,
it.
but yeah.
But at some point, when you are committed to somebody at a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
you owe them a conversation.
And then you start
100%. You owe them some sort of conversation. And so I think she was wrong for not talking to that man, but I think she was extra wrong when it got to the point that he is owed a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And she still kept it.
Yes. Yeah,
which was crazy.
that was crazy.
That's what I don't agree with.
All right, guys, what are we, who's this book for? Let's talk about, I would say the book is for, I don't know, if you are reading a lot of, like, if your life a little bland for a second and you need something that's going to get your blood boiling by yourself,
Little beach read.
a little quick read. If you like a little sex on the side of your books.
There's nothing about on the side.
There's nothing about on the side.
I just think if you need a good little
It's quick.
escape.
It's
a
a
quick.
good little beach read. You on
And-
vacation.
And they don't go too deep. It ain't gonna be like super deep erotica. It's very surface touch erotica to me for this one.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I feel
this
like
one
they
was.
might have had a couple.
It was a lot of description.
It was description, but that's not erotica. Like there was not a lot of sexual scenes. In
It was.
like that.
It was like
It wasn't
I can
50
count
Shades.
like
It
two of
wasn't
them.
50 Shades.
is worse.
It wasn't 50
Zane
Shades.
has worse books.
Yeah,
Trust.
and not
worse in a bad
better,
way.
but
But
more
more
detail. Yeah,
It's
absolutely more descriptive.
descriptive, if
For
you
sure.
will.
So at the beginning, of course, they're gonna tie you into that, and then you get a whole whatever. But who is this book for, guys?
I just don't
already
think
said
too much about it. So all my younger generation readers, don't think too deep into this book at all. Don't think too deep into it. Just read it for what it is, and it is a Black erotica love novel. Go into it like that.
Hold on, can I just real quick? We're gonna have a whole segment on the different ways that Lex call us
Throw
old.
shade, absolutely.
The
Yes.
way-
Why did I?
It's not
Are you
even-
saying
That
I'm
will
old too?
absolutely
No,
hold on, one
yes.
question.
No.
Am I old too? Because I didn't catch
I'm
none of
not
that. I didn't
even-
feel it.
I'm not
Am
even
I part of
saying
the old group?
no. None of y'all are part of the old group.
Dang,
I'm not even saying y'all are old.
We love that. Let me say,
Yeah, you
we
go
gonna,
ahead.
it's gonna be
I'm fine.
me and Star are we're gonna host it. It's gonna be a statement. We're gonna clip up all the different ways that Lex be like, these old
Right. That's that
The
part.
book is just a little dated. That's all.
What you mean by dated? Okay, so for your generation, tell us how it's dated.
I'm
The
not.
conversation's a little.
Yes, I'm not trying
not
to
how we would talk.
generalize anybody. And
She's
this
trying
was
to
when we
generalize.
were
I'm asking you to generalize.
when we were talking about this book. The comment I made. I do think that when we get into the topic of sexuality, there are a lot of
I
stereotypical
agree.
pretenses that are put on people who categorize themselves in any spectrum of the LGBTQIA* community. So, for example, when Sim was bisexual, that was her thing. Whatever. She was very into that. Great. Be who you are. Love it. But I do feel like there is the stereotype of people who are bisexual being overly sexual.
Promiscuous.
And that was
Being
definitely in the-
promiscuous,
okay,
being
correct.
I'm down for any and everything,
Which is
all
not the
types.
story.
And I feel like that's a very detrimental stereotype to put on that group of
Absolutely.
people, because that's something
to put on any group.
to put on any group of people. And so that's what I mean when it's dated. So don't go into it with that mindset. And that was my one critique of the book.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But times have changed. Like society has evolved, and it's where we are today is not where we were. You know what I mean? 5 years
For
ago,
sure.
10 years ago. So that's fair, right? For it to be dated in that way.
In that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, but very, very fun. Very spicy.
Who's
Yeah.
the book for? Star.
I think Zane is for everybody.
Honestly.
Like, you know,
Mhm.
it
I know
was
that junk is off the chain.
it was my introduction. She was definitely my introduction to erotica. If I'm being honest, probably what allowed me to know that it was okay to be sexual, like
Facts.
as a female. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's always this, and again, speaking culturally and how things have changed, right? I think when I was growing up, like, you know, the good girls, you know, and you know, still to an extent, like you want to be the good girl, right, in public and, you know, all of the things. But it definitely allowed me to be like, oh, I can know what I like as a woman too.
you
I can
can
know
tell
what I
somebody.
enjoy as a woman
Right.
too. I don't have to just be involved for your pleasure or
Right.
benefit. You
I
know
didn't
what I
think
mean?
about that.
And that
For
is
sure.
very empowering for
Like
me.
you were just an accessory to sex. Like you were just there for
Yeah.
him. Like, oh, okay.
Absolutely.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And I've
The
always
way they were
been,
talking in these books, them Zane books is.
yeah.
But you've always been sorry.
And I was always like a confident female. But at that time, right, like again, going into adulthood, out of my parents' house and working and, you know, interacting with different people and different experiences, it definitely empowered me. For sure. So I think it's for anybody. Like that early stage,
The sex talk that we got
stage,
was don't do
like,
it.
Yeah,
Like,
like don't do it.
Don't do it. You be like, what? I mean, but mom, I mean, at some point you had to have done it. Like,
Right.
do you have anything else for me?
Right.
No, just don't come home pregnant. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, so that same thing. Like, you know, no one ever told me that as a female I could take control of my sexuality and I can have some suggestions, maybe a little bit to the left, or like, it was just okay. Well, you get what you get. You don't pitch a fit.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, so the vibe, and it's like if somebody would have told me, I definitely could have taken a little bit control, like a little bit early, whatever. That's what I mean. So it's me when I like so the sex talk I had with my child, which I know she probably was like,
this is too much.
It is too much. I be like, hey,
I know mine be like,
let me tell y'all
I'm
something.
not comfortable.
People be mad about Atlanta traffic. Let me tell you something. It is the best when you want to have them conversations with your kids because, hey, we gonna be in this car. Oh, guess what? Your practice is 45 minutes away. We got 45 minutes. You ain't got nothing to do but sit here and listen to me. And I'm like, what you want to talk about? What you like? Who you like? What you want to do? Like, let's talk about it because I didn't want the conversation to be, that's the conversation I had, which was, ooh, don't do it. Like, ooh, it's bad. No, the thing is, it's good. That's why the f we doing it? And guess what?
And it's healthy.
It could be good.
And it's healthy.
And if it's not good, that's not the right person. And tell them what you like. And matter of fact, you can't tell them what you like if you don't explore yourself a little bit. Be like, oh, you know what? This is it right here. But nobody not having those conversations. So it's like, but that I feel like, and for me, I think I discovered, like, I started reading, you know, I said it was like Zane and like even like Terry McMillan and Eric Jordan, like all around the same time. It was like, I was like, you know, maybe like a junior, senior in high school and stuff. And it was kind of like, oh, they talking about all kinds of stuff. You know, of course, I like hiding it from my mom or whatever. It's not something I shared with her until I was like older. But I always just wanted to be like, let my daughter know, like, girl, we talk. Hey, I'm the mom you can talk to about it. And let me tell you some stuff. We're gonna figure out some things, whatever, this and that, because I don't want you to feel like it's something that is wrong. And the bottom line is, if you're doing it and it's not feeling good, then you're not doing it right. So let's work on what I'm just saying.
That's not for you.
You should do something that's gonna feel good, like not doing it for, it's not like a job. I think about Color Purple. Remember, she was like, I just lay there.
Right.
No, it's supposed to be enjoyable for all of us.
I can relate to that.
So it is. It's like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And that's what Zane introduced me to. I feel like I'm like it's for anybody who has an open mind and just want to just escape for a little bit. Life is hard. Let's escape into just a little bit of fiction for a little bit where all the men got big dicks and say the right things.
Right.
Like,
there you go.
Not everybody wants a big dick either, though.
Oh, now we getting off really off topic.
I do. But
Oh, no, I do.
but not everybody.
That's gonna be Black Girls Lit After Dark. We're gonna do a special,
All right.
non-book related segment.
So are we gonna do a lit challenge or no? Or are we gonna go ahead and
Oh, we gotta do a lit challenge. On the wrap up of the show, we're doing lit challenge.
All right, guys.
So the lit challenge for this week is going to be sexy fortune cookies.
Okay.
So on the spot, because they did not want to be prepped.
Oh, good.
So on the spot, you each have to give. I'm opening up my sexy fortune cookie, and you each have to give. What is it gonna say when I open up my sexy fortune cookie? I tried to pre-warn y'all, so y'all can be ready. But
So, this is something that's gonna happen to you.
it's a fortune.
It's a fortune
you just
cookie.
You know how fortune be like.
you open up a
next
fortune cookie.
week,
Just
Just what
some
happened.
wise words, if you will.
Okay, well, does
Wise
somebody
words,
already have theirs?
predictions, some
Y'all
She
ready?
need to give
Whatever.
us an example because she's telling us what it is.
Just like what something you find in a fortune cookie?
We've all had a fortune cookie before, right?
Just
okay.
wise words.
So
Okay,
you're
well,
so tell
here we
me.
go.
So
I'm
tell
ready.
So
The
tell
way you-
tell the viewers and the
Okay.
listeners their sexy fortune. That's what you're doing right now. They're opening up your sexy
Okay.
fortune cookie.
So
and
they
it
don't
says
open up
what?
the fortune
I
cookie.
got it.
Oh, you? Oh, go ahead, Lex.
Okay, we're opening it up. It's going to say, it is a delicate flower, not a DJ turntable.
Come on. Okay.
First of all,
Namaste.
what's wrong with it being a DJ turn?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay, Lex.
No. Be gentle. A delicate flower,
Oh, you talking about for some? Oh,
not a DJ turntable.
I got my. You open up. It says, "Sis, you will go to heaven this week if only you give the right directions."
Come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta tell them. Don't be afraid to tell them what you need.
Okay. I like it.
it's okay to ride in reverse.
And with that, until next time we'll be doing The Nightingale. The author's name is
Kristen Hannah.
My bad.
Okay.
The Nightingale.
The
Yes.
Nightingale by
Kristen
Kristen Hannah.
Hannah.
Kristen
excited about
Hannah,
that.
The Nightingale.
We're gonna
So
get
until
into
next
it,
time,
Oh, I got an
Oh,
empty
I
glass.
got an empty glass.
cheers.
You gotta
Cheers.
refill.
Drink that. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, y'all. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Black Girls Lit podcast. Join us for our next pour and our next page, The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and follow.